Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is White Penguin, and welcome to Legalese for Newbies, episode 5. Yeah, 5. This time I'm gonna be doing 2 videos, of constitutional law, because I did not do anything on constitutional this week, and I would like to at least start off the video right. Disclaimer, I'm not legally licensed. This is all pure academia. If you need a lawyer, if you need a lawyer, you consult a lawyer. If you need actual legal advice, go consult a lawyer. Everything discussed here is purely academic. Established. Let's talk about, I'm not going to discuss the whole every state, because every state has its own judicial system. We have here, and I will be discussing that slightly in my next civil procedure video, which is a continuation of jurisdiction. What will be discussed here is the power of the judicial revision, which was given to the United States, which came into power in the United States not because of the Constitution, but because of a decision made in Marbury versus Madison. If you're in America, you probably have heard this case, and if you're taking constitutional law, it's basically the cornerstone of what is the power of the Supreme Court. And I hope I don't have to explain Marbury versus Madison, at least in the historical context. All you have to know is that it was a decision that Marshall made, and my professor calls it, and I agree with him, a masterpiece in evading, making concrete statements and leaving vague, but not too vague that it doesn't apply. 2 things are established in Marbury versus Madison. 1, the Constitution is the law of the land. Law of the land means that no other law can go above the Constitution. No other state law can be above the Constitution. Now, and the consequence of that is, who has the right to declare, to revise or declare constitutionality in a state law? And that is, the Supreme Court. Madison wanted a mandamus, and he asked the Supreme Court to well, actually, no, it's not Madison, sorry. But the point is that Marbury established all the powers the court will have in the future. And it's been questioned, and it's still being criticized these days, because the critics say that it's not in the Constitution. It's an assumed power. All that, the power of judicial review is it's not implicit, it's assumed that it's there in the Constitution. And let's examine it like I did in class. If the Supreme Court had given Marbury the mandamus, the remedy, it had all the rights. That is a given. That is a given. But the problem is that it would be, and supposedly, the court had the power to give that mandamus. Note that Marbury versus Madison isn't solved because it is given, or because it lacks the right. It falls because it doesn't have the jurisdiction. The Supreme Court is regulated by Article 3. Yeah, Article 3 of the Constitution. And the law that gave the Supreme Court the power to issue the remedy was declared unconstitutional because it was messing with something that is a political matter. You're probably reviewing that political matters don't fall in what is the Supreme Court's powers. That law was declared unconstitutional, and Marbury establishes that that the Supreme Court cannot act upon such matters because it would be crossing over. It would be causing a shift in balance between the three powers. It would be doing a matter that is supposed to be either from the legislative branch or the executive branch. And in this case, I think it was the executive branch. So I didn't do it. And the thing is, you're going to see Marshall basically stops right there. Just right there of declaring something substantial. But it doesn't. But he doesn't, and that is a good thing. Because it leaves the whole opinion is not even that long compared to recent cases. And the power of judicial review cannot be done by any other branch. Why? Because then we'd be infringing upon Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution. That's what Marshall says. There's a lot of M's in this case. And I will be discussing that in the next video, next constitutional series. That what Marbury did and what happened afterwards. Because now the Supreme Court has the power over interpreting the Constitution. And that can bring a lot of trouble for the Supreme Court. If you like what you saw, and if you have any questions or topics you want to suggest you want me to discuss, leave a comment in the comment box below. New Legalese content every Saturday and Sundays. Vlogs are pretty much random, I just realized. And as they say, and as I always say, good night, good luck, and as they say in the Hunger Games, may the odds be forever in your favor. Bye!